Hey, what's up everyone? Do you hate your job? I hope you don't, but if you do, I think you might find some lessons from Dave Chappelle useful. Now, I've recently become quite interested in the guy, and I gotta be honest, he's someone that I've known about since I was a kid, but up until a few days ago, I actually hadn't listened to any of his material. Of course, I did what everyone does when they become interested in someone. I Googled him, and I found out a lot of interesting stuff. I learned about his disagreement with Comedy Central, I learned about the $50 million deal that he turned down, and how he pretty much stuck it to the man. And I was impressed. It is a breath of fresh air to know that not all celebrities are sellouts who are willing to chase fame and fortune to the depths of hell. I then stumbled upon his interview with David Letterman on Netflix, and with this combination of research, I learnt an important lesson from Chappelle, and he helped put into words something that I've been feeling for quite a while. And that was the lesson of community. In this interview, Dave talks about how he moved away from the spotlight and moved to Ohio to live a life away from the cameras and fame and glitz and glamour. He talks a lot about how he knows everyone in the town. He knows their names. They know each other's kids. They don't treat him like Dave Chappelle. They just treat him like Dave. In this small town, everyone is living life separately, but together. Now, this idea of community can be very powerful. This idea that you are a part of something, not just on a superficial level, but on a deep and meaningful one. This sense of community is the reason why following sports teams, joining clubs, and going to festivals are so fun. It's not just winning or participating or doing illicit substances with your friends to great music. It's this idea that we're all in it together, regardless of what it actually is. Basically, community makes us happier. And it's not enough to just be in close proximity with each other. There needs to be an openness, a bond or a connection that makes us really feel a part of something. And it's unfortunate because I feel like for some people, this is lacking, particularly in workplaces. Now, I'm really fortunate. I love where I work. Shout out to Coles carrying Australia on its back since March 2020, no biggie. But it's certainly not the job that I enjoy. It's the people. And I personally feel like a lot of people that hate their jobs don't actually hate them. There just isn't a very good community environment in their workplace. Now, of course, this isn't the case for everyone, but for me, I'm starting to see this more and more with people telling me that they don't like their jobs. Let me dish out some harsh truths. The reality is, the smallest percentage of people actually get jobs that they intrinsically love. And while that shouldn't stop you from trying to get the job of your dreams, I think that we need to stop putting so much emphasis on it in general. It's like, oh my god, if I don't get my dream job, my life will suck. I really don't think that that's true at all. And I think that to realize that, a lot of people have to have a bit of a perspective shift. More often than not, it is not the job itself that will get you to spring out of bed in the morning, happy to seize the day. It's the people that you're going to do the job with. Think about it like this. On the surface, there is nothing particularly enjoyable about serving people at a register or doing people's shopping. And neither is there laying bricks or typing at a desk all day. But if you go somewhere and there are people that you genuinely care about, that you can have a laugh with and share some sort of a bond, that can make you excited for the day. And it can make it a hell of a lot easier to deal with all the crap that you might face on the job. Unfortunately, a lot of people like to separate their personal life and their work life. And to some degree, I think this is a good idea. But I also think that a lot of us take it too far. We spend most of our time at work. So in a sense, it is your life. I personally think that we need to drop this whole idea of work friends. This idea that you're only friends with people because you go to the same place to make money. I think that if you shift your mindset just a little and consider people actual friends, it can make your day a whole lot more enjoyable. Try and change your mindset to how can I make friends here rather than how can I make money here so that I can go and do things with my real friends when I clock off. And if you're listening to this thinking work is for making money, not for making friends, I'd argue, well, why can't we have both? From my perspective, I don't think it's asking too much to be slightly more open, a little more friendly, and have the idea that you could potentially become good friends with these people that you work with. And don't get me wrong, I also completely understand that some people don't necessarily have the mental luxury of being able to think about making friends. A lot of people are in very difficult situations. They have mortgages, they have kids, they have bills, they have a lot of things going on, and making friends just isn't at the forefront of their mind. On top of that, you might be working with people who just purely, for whatever reasons, aren't interested either. But even in this regard, I still don't think it's asking too much of people to try and be a little more open and try to build a real connection and a real relationship beyond just the general, how's it going? Yeah, good, thanks. And I know it sometimes feels awkward trying to have a conversation with someone you don't really know, but that's something that we're just gonna have to get over if we wanna make our days more enjoyable. I promise you that every single person watching this video has ample opportunity to build more of a community and build more of a connection with people around them at their place of work. I understand that this whole idea of community might seem too simple, and I might seem naive for thinking that it's this easy to make your days better. But it's amazing how such small changes in perception can really make a drastic difference in your life. At the end of the day, if you make even one legitimate friend at work, if it makes the day even slightly more bearable, that is still a step in the right direction. So remember, community is the key to enjoying work, and you can't always count on other people to make that happen. Sometimes you have to be the one to let your guard down. Start the friendly convo, speak to someone that you haven't spoken to before. Ask someone about their hobbies, or organize with people to go out and get drinks after work. But I truly do believe that if you do these things, you will at the least not hate work. Okay, that's it. I'll see you guys next week.
All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right, so